decided to make some dandelion infused oil, and hopefully I can use that to make some homemade lotion, salve, something like that. Okay, so we picked some dandelions, probably about a cup worth. I think most stuff I looked at said you need maybe 2 cups, so we're gonna go to the park later to find some more. Alright, so I got them laid out a towel. Where's a cookie sheet? Under it, all the little stems are cut off, and everything I read said they needed to dry for 1 to 2 days. It's been pretty rainy here, so it's probably going to take 2 days for them maybe to completely dry. Let the sunflowers dry for a couple days, and there is more than what was on the towel because it was kind of the next day that we ended up going to the park to pick some. And I think since it was winter, there probably wasn't any chemicals sprayed outside. So I think they were probably pretty safe picking them at the park. But there was a lot more. Didn't even pick them all. And filled it up, put them in the jar, filled it up with sunflower oil. I think you can use olive oil. I didn't quite have enough of that to probably fill the whole jar. And we're going to let it sit for at least 2 weeks. It's supposed to be in direct sunlight, but it is going to be cloudy the next few days here. So we'll see what it's like in at least 2-3 weeks maybe. Alright, so I've got my dandelion oil that I infused for over 3 weeks, and the recipe I'm following says I need 16 ounces. I've got the jojoba oil, coconut oil, and some beeswax. These are pellets that I have. So I'm supposed to strain out the dandelion oil. You can use like a little strainer. I've just got cheesecloth. Make sure I'm holding this down tight enough, because I didn't have a rubber band. Probably not doing this most efficient way. It's actually got a really nice smell to it. Alright, so I've actually only got, I don't quite have 16 ounces in here. I've got about 12 ounces. I'm just going to squeeze this bit of the oil out so I can try to get more in there. Alright, hang on a second. I'm going to go grab actually my other jar real quick. So this other jar doesn't have as much, and I've only really infused it about a week. That looks like that's going to get me to right about 16 ounces. I don't know if I'm supposed to squeeze this out, but I'm doing it anyway. Okay, so I realized I messed up when I told you the jojoba oil. That was, I think I was getting that confused with my soap making recipe, so I went back and looked at the 3 Dandelion Salve recipes I looked at, and they were not in there. So I might have probably read one of them that it was in there, and that's probably why I pulled it out. So I've got about 2 ounces of coconut oil and 2 ounces of beeswax that I'm melting down right now. 2 ounces, about 1/4 of a cup. So this is going to heat on low, medium water until everything's melted. In fact, the coconut oil's pretty close to being melted, so we're just waiting on the beeswax. Alright, so it's pretty much melted except for what was kind of hanging out on the edges from when I tried to stir it in. That took such a long time, I was able to fix the kids' lunch. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add the dandelion infused oil to this. Oh, look, it's like hardening it up in there. Look at that, it's like science. What happens when you add certain oils together? Okay, got a little bit left in there, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to save this little bit, and I'm going to put it back in a jar and use it for soap making. Alright, a few recipes I looked at said you could add some essential oil, about 10 to 15 drops. So I'm going to put in, there's really not much lavender oil left in this one little jar. So, just put the last little bit of it in there. That might have been about 10 drops worth. So I'll add about 5 more. And then what I'm going to do, okay, it's kind of really hardened up there at the top once I added that. And that coconut oil. Now it is kind of cool in my kitchen since it's kind of winter time. So I'm going to kind of just stir that in a little bit. And hopefully that lavender oil is all mixed in. And then what I decided to do is I've got just an old jar that had some facial cream in it. I'm going to carefully try to pour a little bit in here for a little small container of it. And then I got a big giant one here that I guess I can go and use out as I so please. You could also use just like a little half pint size jar. So let it sit, and what it's gonna do, it's gonna harden, and then when I'm ready to use it, you just take it out and use it. So it does have a really nice, pleasant smell to it. All right, so we'll check and see how it does after it hardened and ready to use it. All right, so it's the next day, and I've got our salve. And I've already kind of got a little bit out right there. And so it smells real nice. And it's kind of it's pretty oily still, so I don't know if it'll continue to set more, if that'll be the consistency of it. But it looks like you can just smooth it on. I probably got too much. So this is our first go around of trying it. I took that big jar and I made 2 in an old baby jar, and I'm gonna kind of I gave one away already. I was gonna give another away because that'll probably be a lot to try to do. But I think this will be really moisturizing, and definitely gonna try it on my cracked, nasty old lady feet that I got and see how that helps. Anyway, definitely think I can tweak it a little bit and see how it goes the next time I try to make it. Alright, don't forget to subscribe.